You shared a secret with him, a childhood dream, a deep insecurity, a moment of past failure. You thought it was a moment of connection, a bridge of trust between you and your father. But for a narcissist, that information wasn't a gift to be cherished. It was ammunition to be stored, and you only realize this the moment he loads that bullet and fires it back at you, precisely when you are most vulnerable. This is one of the most devastating forms of psychological abuse. Today, we will expose this tactic through the lens of Carl Jung. We will understand why he does this, and more importantly, we will build a Jungian shield to protect your deepest self from ever being used as a weapon against you again. From a Jungian perspective, the narcissist has a profoundly weak and underdeveloped ego. His true self is buried under a grandiose persona, a mask of superiority, but underneath that mask lies a vast, unintegrated shadow, filled with his own shame, insecurity, and feelings of worthlessness. This inner void is so painful that he cannot tolerate seeing wholeness in others. When you share a vulnerability, he doesn't meet it with empathy. He steals its emotional energy. Your fear, your shame, your hope, he harvests it. He then stores this information in his psychological arsenal. It's a cold, calculated filing system of your pain. He does this for one reason: to project his own shadow back onto you. When he feels his false persona is threatened, he doesn't fight with his own strength. He has none. He fights by making you carry the very feelings he cannot bear in himself. So, when he uses your secret against you, he is not just hurting you. He is performing a twisted act of psychological projection, trying to make you the container for the chaos he feels inside. Let's break down his 3 favorite manipulation tactics and build your specific Jungian defense for each one. First tactic, the precision strike. He uses your most painful secret at the most damaging moment to cause maximum hurt and disorientation. The example: you passed your driving test only on the 8th attempt. I remember how devastated you were then. Now, as an adult, you're excited about buying a new car. He says, "You can't drive, you'll definitely crash this car." Your Jungian defense, the unshakable witness. This attack is designed to shatter your present moment confidence by throwing you back into a past pain. Your defense is to activate your inner witness, the calm, observing part of yourself. When he strikes, don't engage with the content. Internally say, "This is an old story he is using. It does not define my present reality." Your power lies in refusing to be emotionally dragged back into that memory. You observe the attack, but you do not relive the pain. The second tactic, the shattered persona. He attacks the very mask or role you are trying to uphold in a social situation, exposing a vulnerability to humiliate you. The example: you're hosting a dinner party, playing the role of the competent host, your social persona. He pulls you aside and says, loud enough for others to hear, "You seem really stressed. Is this too much for you? It looks like you're not coping." Your Jungian defense, conscious persona management. He is trying to rupture your social mask to make you feel exposed and fake. Your defense is to remember, you are not your persona. It's a tool you use. When he attacks it, you can consciously choose to adjust it. A powerful response is calm agreement. "Yes, hosting can be stressful, but I'm enjoying it. Thank you for your concern." This robs him of the conflict he wants and shows you are in conscious control of your roles, not a victim of them. Third tactic, the gaslighting trivialization. He uses your vulnerability to prove that your feelings are invalid and that you are overly sensitive. The example: you confront him about a hurtful comment. He replies, "There you go again, always so sensitive. I'm just telling the truth. Remember how you cried for days over that silly little problem in high school? You've always been too fragile." Your Jungian defense, the declaration of sovereignty. This is an attempt to make you doubt the very validity of your emotional world. Your defense is a sovereign declaration. You must claim authority over your inner experience. You can say, "My feelings are my reality." You do not get to define their validity. The topic is no longer open for discussion. This is you drawing a sacred boundary around your inner world, the core of your Jungian self. The ultimate defense is not just deflecting individual attacks, but making yourself invulnerable to them. This is done by building what I call the sanctuary of the self. This is a two-part practice. First, strategic sharing. Your vulnerability is sacred. Before sharing anything personal with a narcissist, ask yourself this Jungian question: is this person a safe container for this part of my soul? If the answer is no, that information does not get past the gate. This isn't being dishonest, it's being discerning. It's protecting your treasures from a thief. Second exercise, the inner consolidation. Spend time in introspection and journaling. Get to know your own stories, your pains, and your dreams so well that his version of them holds no power over you. When you have fully integrated your own experiences, shadow and all, his attempts to weaponize them will feel hollow and pathetic, like throwing a pebble at a fortress. When you do this work, you perform a great act of psychological alchemy. You transform the ammunition he stored back into your own personal artifacts. They become part of your history, your strength, your individuation journey, not his weapons. He uses your secrets because he has none of his own worth sharing. He attacks your vulnerability because he cannot face his own. By building your sanctuary of self, you reclaim everything he tried to steal. You are not fragile. You are the guardian of a profound and complex inner world. What part of your sanctuary do you need to strengthen first? Share your commitment in the comments. Sometimes declaring our intent is the first brick in the wall.